Well, this is the one job here that I did not plan on doing this spring. And this is keeping us from planting corn. What we're doing is we're reseeding down alfalfa. This is the worst frickin' field that I've done this year so far. I started here late yesterday afternoon, and what we're dealing with is winterkill. And what has happened is we had so much moisture here in the fall that the water or the moisture that was in the soil here froze, and it pushed the alfalfa plants up out of the ground here before they could get rooted and established. Like I said, this is the worst field that I have done so far. We had wheat on this last year, harvested it off in July, manured it, and then we seeded it down in August. And we're reapplying alfalfa here. This is a WL alfalfa. This is actually Harv Extra that I'm putting in the grain drill right at the moment here. It's a little wet up on this upper side here. This generally lays a little wetter anyways, and we're seeding it down with a Great Plains grain drill. This is a 30-foot drill, and we're running the seed through the small box. Now, you might be wondering, or you might be asking, you know, why aren't you using auto steer? Well, I haven't used it yet this year here, or this spring, because the fields that I have been seeding down up to this point, I've only had to spot apply seed. So I put the drill down in one spot, go 50 feet, 100 yards, 300 yards, you know, and then pick it back up, travel across the field, fill in another zone. However, this field here, I'm just gonna plant the whole thing. Now we're running a 4640 display. We're in the 8320R. This is the tractor that I plant corn in. This field here it's only a few acres. It's a triangular shaped field, and I could run auto steer, but I've had a couple of questions or a couple of comments here that have been made in the last few videos, because we were talking about getting an auto steer system, a cheaper one that we could put on the tillage tractors to aid in, you know, just putting a auto steer system on, for example. Now, this grain drill here, I forget how old it is. It's, oh, I don't remember when we bought it. I would have to look it up. We've had it all of 10 years. And when we bought this grain drill, we bought it with markers on it. And when it came, it only had a marker on the left side. And the marker option was $7,500. So the salesman said, you know, I didn't realize that, you know, it only had one marker on it when I sold it to you. And if you don't want the marker, that's fine, but to add the other one, it was like maybe $5,000 or something. I don't know. But as you can see, I don't need guidance. I don't need markers. I am running this by hand. You can see the steering wheel moving. I don't have auto steer activated, and I'm running one-on-one. And I had some comments you know, not vicious comments in any way or anything like that, but the comments that were pertaining to the videos that I did saying that I wanted to get a couple of auto steer systems for the chisel plows, and a couple of the comments that came across were like, you know, us professionals that don't use auto steer don't need auto steer. Well, we're on a piece of equipment that's 30 feet wide. We're running one-on-one right there, meaning we've got the outside seed opener on the right side of the grain drill, dropping right into the outside seed opener from the left side of the grain drill that we made with the last pass. Now, I'm steering this by hand. I am not using auto steer. So I don't want any of you guys to comment saying that I'm cheating in any way here, but us true professionals don't need auto steer. We have done this long enough that we can gauge this whole operation by eye. Now, on some of these grain drills, you can put a marker system on them and whatever, like I talked about, but it's not necessary. The corn planter, that's a little more critical, because what you're dealing with is you're dealing with a piece of harvesting equipment, like maybe a combine head, not really our chopper head, because that's an all-cut head. And that head, it doesn't matter. We can go crossways with the row, but when you have to follow the row, you don't want to overlap it all, and you don't want to have these wide gaps. And yeah, so we're just motoring along here. This is only a few acres in this field here, and the drill that we had before this drill was only 15 feet wide, and that is about the width of the tractor here with duals. And you could kind of watch your outside peripheral whatever zone. You could watch that by eye a little easier than you could with this wider equipment here. Being that, you know, you were a little closer to your last pass, and I could run one-on-one all day long, just one-on-one, just dropping one into the other and not having to worry about you know, running too wide of a gap or what have you. So we're just motoring along here, like I said, and I am not using auto steer because I haven't taken the time on this field to set up an AB line. Now, this field is triangular in shape here, and it's not all that long. I should be going down to this end, turn back around and go up through that side, and just be making my rounds shorter and shorter here. So we're just gonna run it the way we're running it here. I'm not too happy with what I'm seeing with conditions, but it is what it is. The plants that are there are healthy. However, they have, you know, there's not much there with what has been pushed out of the ground through the freezing and the thawing here. So on this grain drill, I have 3 sections. It's 3 10-foot drills, and I can control the grain drill either by picking or putting down all of the sections, or we can change over to running the 3 sections here and run it that way. The only problem with this drill is I have a it's not an isobus drill. In other words, what it's doing is it's only got one section. It's either recording 30 feet or 0 feet. And the what the heck do you call it? The switch. Can't recall or remember what the heck you call that switch. Proximity. The proximity, it's actually not a proximity switch. It's just a push button switch, and it's actually running off of the drill that's on the right hand side. You can't quite see it, but the control, the chain drive transmission for the third drill, the drill on the right, there's a button, almost looks like a dimmer switch, and when the drill comes down, it closes the circuit, and we are recording off of the closed switch on green star display here. So if we only want to run the right hand drill down and we're only drilling 10 feet, it actually records 30 feet. If we need to run just a drill on the left and we're planting 10 feet, then it's not recording anything. So Great Plains does have a drill out now that is isobus controlled, and it works in sections. I think it's still yeah, it's still in 10-foot sections, so if you run into an area that's already planted, it'll automatically lift that one section up, and so that you're not over planting. If I want to do that, I've got to do everything by hand here. So we're almost done with this one piece here. We're gonna be getting into corn here in a day or two. We've got the corn planter all ready to go. We did run into some issues with the setup, and my videos are kind of out of whack here. They're out of synchronization, but we'll get into talking about what's going on or what went on with the setup and the final calibration of the planter in my final corn planter video here. So I just thought I would bring you up to speed on what we're working on, and it's frustrating having to replant all this. I've replanted 102 acres so far. We seeded down about 600 acres here the end of last summer, and I'm not even across 300 acres yet. So being that we've reseeded 100 out of 300 acres, we're right at about 30% reseed. So our seed dealer, they gave us $12,000 worth of seed here yesterday to reseed with. I ate through that here by I started about noontime today, and I was gone. I had that seed gone by about, I started at noontime yesterday. I had that seed gone by about noon today, and now we are on our own dime. Now, some of this might come back on its own, but we're here and we need to get the seed there. So hopefully we never have to do this again. It's just it's something that comes up from time to time, and you just have these rough winters that kill out the alfalfa or your seedings in general. I mean, grasses, they'll take a hit too. Grasses don't like the dry climate. This alfalfa will really flourish when it's real dry out. You get a dry summer, and this stuff being that roots farther than grass, it will take on the drier climate than what the grasses will do. The grasses, they'll just lay down. We used to plant a mixed stand seedings. In other words, our alfalfa, we run right around, I think we were about 90% alfalfa before we were doing 100% alfalfa, and we ran like a 5% or a 7% and a 3%, 5%, I'm sorry, 7% Timothy and 3% fescue. And right now we're seeding down 100% alfalfa. We've been doing this for like 6 years now, and we've had pretty good luck with it, although we haven't had to deal with this drastic of a kill out during the winter here. I've had to reseed a little bit here and there in the past couple of years, but nothing this bad here. So we'll just keep on keeping on, and we are done with this field. So we'll join back up with you here a little later on. We have this farm strip, so this is going to be a hayfield and a cornfield, open ditch, hayfield on the other side of the open ditch, and then we've got a field up by the road there that we've got to redo, and then I'm going to be moving like 24 or 5 miles from here to a farm where the girls are plowing. My goal is to get there tonight, and then I can ride home with them. I don't suspect that I'm gonna get done planting on the farm that they're plowing on, but at least I can catch a ride home with them, and hopefully we can finish this up here tomorrow. I want to be planting corn on Monday. Today's Saturday, and if we can get planting corn on Monday, that'll be right on, just about on target to where we generally start planting corn every year. It's been probably 5, 6, 7 years. In the last 5 or 6 years, 7 years, maybe as much as 7 years, we have not had any corn in the ground before the 1st of May. I don't recall when we put corn in the ground last year. It might have been the 10th. I think the year before that was like the 13th. I think we had a May 17th start date as well. So we'll just keep on keeping on. So we'll join up with you here in a little while. We've got to cross this driveway there. It's we've got an open ditch that runs down through there. So we need to, wrong remote, we need to fold the drill up, get across this open ditch, or get across this driveway, get up on that top field there, and then we can get that done and move on to the next farm. We've got a farm that's a couple of miles away from home, and then I can move to Camillus and then on to where the girls are plowing. So we'll join back up with you in a little while here. Actually, it's going to be a few hours. Well, we are into the following day here now. We ended up getting moved over here to Warner's last night, and I ended up riding home with the girls. I had to put a little strip down in alongside that hedgerow. That hedgerow blew down over the winter, and it actually got struck with lightning, and the trees that blew down ended up burning. So I was able to patch that in over on that side. The field ended up being a little wider there than what it originally was. So I'm having to remap this field as well. So we're just making a path around the outside here. So as you can see, this stand of alfalfa here is a lot better than what we were in yesterday afternoon. We had some patchwork to do on another field that was on the other side of the road there. This is about 28 acres in this field, and field that I was in before this one was roughly around 80 acres. That was on some rolling hills. I had a couple of acres to do in that one, but that stand of alfalfa was just as good as this one here. The girls plowed this field up in front of us here yesterday. They moved across the road, plowed another one, and now they're down the road now, plowing now. So that is gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching.